going to school this morning, and I think today I'm going to try for the first time pumpkin spice matcha, because I haven't really tried any pumpkin spice drinks before, and I want to see what the hype is about. Last time I tried anything pumpkin spice, it was muffins and I didn't like it. So because it's fall, I'm gonna try and see what that's about, because they're putting out the pumpkin spice thing. I tried ube matcha for the first time yesterday and it was okay, but I don't think they put enough sweetener. But I could taste the ube and it was actually not bad. I actually kind of liked it. I just think the matcha itself was kind of not good. But I'm either gonna cave in and just get ube matcha today, or I'm gonna actually try pumpkin spice. I'm only trying it because I want to know how it tastes, but I don't know if I'm really gonna like it or not. But we'll see.
Lorelai.
What? It's his first night staying at your house. I want him to have all the stuff that makes him.
Just green. And you might want to watch that tune's tone. It's kind of like Chinese in that respect, dog language. It's very.
The capital which they need, believe me. When it comes to debt versus equity, they're screwed. They have no liquid advertising potential alone. What are you staring at?
You, Mr. Debt versus Equity.
Are you mocking me?
Yeah, but I like it.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about how I have started So the book club that I'm in has started a new book for this next month between now the middle of October and then the middle of November is when we'll be discussing the new book. So we do 2 books and then different groups decide which book they want to read. And the book that was one of the 2 was actually the first one that I decided to read because it has been on my reading list for a long time, and I think it's a romance book, but I don't know. But it's this type of genre book I usually like reading, and it's Wuthering Heights, and so I immediately went for it. But then the other one that most people decided to read was a book called Babel, and I read the description and I didn't really get, like, I hadn't heard of it before. It was sounding like fantasy based and things like that, and like, I don't know, I wasn't really interested at first, but then that was the second option. And then I read another description of it online, and then it's on Wikipedia. The description was that it was a critique on British colonialism and imperialism. And I was like, oh, now if I had seen that in the description that they put on the voting form, I would have definitely chosen that, because that's literally like my bread and butter, critique on British colonialism and imperialism. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll read Babel instead. So I got the physical book. The last book that we were supposed to read, I did not end up finishing it. I read like the first, literally on my books app, because that was the where I was reading it on the books app on Apple. It literally said I read like 13% of the book or something like that. Like, I genuinely did not get anywhere at all. I just was not really, I don't know. When I was reading it, I wasn't feeling like I wasn't really getting into it. And like, the writing wasn't really enjoyable for me. The book was The Silent Patient. It did sound a lot more interesting when they were discussing in the book club, because obviously they had gotten to the actual interesting parts of the book that I just didn't get to. But I was like, I'm gonna try again. This book actually does sound like my bread and butter and something that I'll be a lot more interested into. And I have started reading this one, and I'm genuinely like a lot more, because I haven't been able to like choose. Like, I was in 2 different book clubs, so now I kind of like narrowed down my choices. Okay, I'm putting A Little Life on pause, and I so starting this new book on time, and making sure to read every day, and actually getting the physical book, because I feel like this is a big factor in my just kind of what's motivating me to read, is having the book in my hand. So I made sure to buy it, because based on the description, it sounded like it would be worth getting the physical book, because it sounded like I would find it interesting enough that I wouldn't regret spending money on it. And that we had our meeting like last week, and I got it on Thursday, a day afterwards. So today is Monday. This is how far I've gotten. Honestly, not that great. I am a slow reader, but I started reading it on Friday, because I got it like Thursday night, and then I read the most on Friday, and then I didn't read that much on Saturday, and then I read a little bit on Sunday, and then I've been reading some today. Today's Monday, and I really, really am enjoying it. Like, I was wondering what was happening, because when I think of books that I used to read like years ago, like, I feel like I was in a reading slump for a while, and before that I was reading, like, I would say like 2022 was the last time I read books that I really liked, like Daughter of the Siren Queen and The Gone Girl and things like that. And ever since then, the books that I read have just not been anything that have made me feel like the enjoyment from reading that I usually associate with reading. Like, I read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I read We Were Liars, I read Americana, I read I read like 60% of The Vegetarian. I could not finish it. I tried so hard, but I just didn't understand what was going on. What else did I read? I don't know that many books, but still, like, I just didn't feel like there was any book that I was reading that I was like, I don't know, just enjoying. Like, everything was just meh. Like, I wouldn't say I enjoyed, like, the last book. I felt like up until that point, the last book that I had read that I really enjoyed was Gone Girl. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. These books I know my bread and butter. Even like The Silent Patient I tried reading, I was like, another book that I'm picking up that I just don't like. And I'm like, is it me? Is it just because I'm not getting far enough into the books? Well, with The Silent Patient, I was like, did I just not get far enough in the book to enjoy it? Or is it just me? I'm like, I know I like reading. I don't know why none of the books I'm reading are making me, like, I'm not enjoying them as much as I have enjoyed the book that I read 3 years ago. but I can say finally I am enjoying this book. I love it so far, and I'm only on page 60, but even in the small amounts that I've read, it is something that I can really see myself just thinking, oh, I need to pick this up and continue. Not like I was forcing myself to like pick up The Silent Patient like it was a job just because I wanted to finish reading it for the book club meeting. I'm actually like, oh, I'm finishing this book before the next meeting and I'm going to talk about it. It's like, I don't know what I like about it. I like the characters, I like the writing, I love the writing, and just the themes that you can tell are waiting to like just spill over into the pages of this book that are just gonna like be talked about. Like, I just love it so much, and I'm only on page 60 and I really love it. So I'm happy that I got it, and I'm happy that I picked to read this. And if I finish it, because we have a month, so if I finish it quick enough, I know I'm a reader, but I think I can do it. I mean, we have like literally a month or like 20 days, and I would then like to pick up Wuthering Heights, and I probably won't be able to finish it before the next book club reading, but I'll probably just start that one and maybe like continue with that one. But yeah, like that's just like what I'm doing right now with the book club. I've started, this is my current read, and I'm really enjoying it. An Arcane History. So, oh yeah, it's basically just about like, this is why like I don't think I've ever read that much fantasy books, and I don't really imagine myself really being in like, I don't know, I feel like I can't really judge whether or not I like fantasy because I never really dabbled in fantasy novels before. The closest thing I've gotten to is being a Potterhead and liking Harry Potter, but then I read like, I watched the books more than I watched all the movies, and I read like 4 of the books. I'm still a real Potterhead. I don't care if I didn't read all the books, I still like it, but that was the closest thing I had got into fantasy. That's why I didn't think I would like this one. But it's kind of like, I don't know if it's fantasy, it's kind of like, there's some elements of like magic in it, but it's not like main, like it's not like, it's like the magical elements are still very much intertwined into the world, the real world. Like it's the same the same countries, the same cities, the same types of people, London, Oxford, China, and all the same countries. It's just like the magical element is silver is like a magical element in this world, and it's used for lots of things. And then it just kind of ties into like how the British Empire is able to kind of use their ownership of silver to build their empire, and like that is what gives them the power. So it's like interesting that has been, that element of history is kind of like mixed with this magical element. And then yeah, it's just like so the main character is like a translator that's studying at this university, and he has been stolen from his country, China, to England, and basically been forced to assimilate into the society, and he has been transformed into an Englishman. So they expect him to be loyal to England, but England wants to colonize his country, China. Anyway, it's just lovely. I love it. So yeah, just wanted to talk about it. And yeah, hopefully I will be done very soon. I just have so much schoolwork to do, and I've just been like finding that's why I've only read 60 pages. It's because I've been reading like tiny snippets of the book between my study periods, because I have an exam on Wednesday, and I've just been like every time I just be studying, and then I'll have like 15 minutes to read on the train, and it's just like I feel like I can't just like, I don't have an hour to just sit down and pour through the book, which is why I haven't done that much, but hopefully within time. Maybe once my exam is over or something, or in the next few weeks. I just can't wait for freaking Thanksgiving break. I'm so tired. Yeah. So I have actually nothing to say.